Hey, we are back. I'm excited for today's show. My dog Jalen in the place to be, college football showdown. I was talking to my dog Road Dog yesterday, and I was telling him we are about to step on people's necks this year. Jalen, my brother, how are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good, Summer semester been busy. Well, it's been pretty cool and everything. Oh no, I like interacting with all the students and stuff. It get pretty boring over summer when you not when four people come in 2 days and you like, man, dang.
So
You
half of
know,
your job is, the stuff that you do for the library, and then the other half is troubleshooting and helping
yeah,
people
customer
with.
service type of
I know
stuff.
you get a lot of dumb questions. I'm sure, like, huh? Like, you don't get a lot of dumb questions?
I would say, yeah, but at the same time, no, because we get some older people in there and they just don't know how to use a computer.
All right, and that's fair. That's
Some
fair.
people just don't try though. Some people just come in and they'll be like, look at me like, I need your help. I'm like, man, you didn't even try.
Right. It's just automatically that's what they're up to. So we got a lot on the docket today. We're going to give our AP poll reaction. Yes, it came out Monday. Do we give a F? No, we don't. We're excited to talk about it. And then also we're going to give our conference winners for each conference. And then next week will be part 2. Are we sticking with the Fridays or depend on the week? Thursday, Friday,
I
just
guess it
depend
kind
on
of
the week.
depend on the week. I mean, we can
Okay.
stick to the Fridays if you want.
With the
'Cause, I mean,
Friday,
day before Saturday, day before
yeah,
game day.
day before game day. So next week will be the part 2 to this, and then we'll get into a little bit of the week 0 thing. I got an idea for a matchup preview show where we all kind of give input on it. That's something. If that will be my pie in the sky for this upcoming college football season, that would be something that I'm greatly interested in. So let's go ahead and get our AP poll reaction. Let's go ahead and talk about these top 25 teams in this AP poll. Coming in at number 25, we got Missouri. Coming in at number 24, we got Louisville. Coming in at number 23, we got Houston. Shout out to H-Town. Coming in at number 22, we got Iowa. Coming in at number 21, we got Utah. Coming in at number 20, we got Tennessee. Let's talk about this first group of schools: Missouri, Louisville, Houston, Iowa, Utah. How you feeling about this first grouping of schools?
I didn't mind it. I thought they all deserved to be in the top
Right.
25. But yeah, I suspected some teams to be. I thought Louisville might have been higher. I thought Missouri maybe could have been the one team that could have been out. Um, but I thought it was an overall like good top 25. And I thought that was a good group too.
We remember the scrutiny that the AP poll got last year, and they've given us the ability to see what individual voters voted on. If you remember Haley Sawyer's situation from a year ago, where
Yeah,
she thought Florida won the
don't.
game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what it
And
was.
and they- and they, and they
I do
lost,
remember that.
and her response to that, hey, I'm in press box and stuff like that, buddy, we are too. Like, that's not an
All you gotta do is look up
excuse.
the score.
Right. And to me, like,
At least
I
something.
respect the people who, like, we got people on our team who watches, like, and you one of them. Like, you'll watch college basketball, NBA, all that, bro. I'm an NFL casual. All I care about is college football. I tell people that all the time. Like, we starting to get these quadrants in this space. Like, you got the people that are CFF guys that can name a bunch of Jimmys and Joes, right? And they'll name them at the drop of a, their name said player from here. Then you got kind of the people who just talk about, a bunch of different teams, all over the FBS landscape, whether it's G6, whether it's Power 4, not just SEC and Big Ten. Then there's kind of this interesting situation where you got film guys, and then from film guys, you got X's and O's guys, right? Because there's guys who cover film and they understand conceptually what the routes are, but they don't know, like, they don't kind of understand the route tree or why an offense is this. And I think we kind of got a
Yeah,
melting
that's
pot
more
of
so
everybody that
kinda
do
me.
anything. Yeah, we got, like, okay, well, that's but, like, you know what I'm saying?
You talking about
So,
wide receiver over here? Wait, hold on.
right.
I'm like, man, that's too many letters.
Well, yeah,
I'm good at algebra.
Yeah. So, me, I'm a sicko with all of that. So, I'm not that big a Jimmy and Joe's guy. I'll be the first one to tell you that. But X's and O's is what what I really care about more than the film. I don't give a damn about what this player did. How does that player fit in this game? Well, why did it work that way? It's kind of where I'm at. So the first 5 grouping of teams, me personally, I'm not mad at all. I have a rule personally. If you do a top 25, include one G16, just one. You know, of course, some people are going to have some pushback with that. Well, your top 25 should be your current top 25 schools. You know, whoever you think the top 25. If G6 isn't going to do a separate playoff, which is something we've talked about this on this show a great deal, if they're not going to do that, then there needs to be some type of inclusion. So, in my opinion, there should have been at least one G6 team grouped inside of the top 25, because at the end of the day, when we get down to the 12-team playoff, there will be at least one G6 team, as long as we don't have what happened last year with the ACC's conference champion didn't get into the playoff field. But now that's why they have the new rulings in place, and we learned that at ACC Media Days. But what is your opinion on that? One G6 team being in the playoff. You can give me your honest opinion.
I don't mind it, but honestly, I feel like, you know, voters think that no G6 team deserves to be in the top 25 to start the season. Maybe that's the way it is. It's like a, I don't want to say a participation award just because, oh, you're G6, we got to toss somebody in there. And that's
right.
I thought Boise State did deserve more love, but also thought Arizona deserved more love also.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Outstanding point, brother.
Yeah, I thought those 2 teams deserve more love. And I know they was like right outside the top 25 with some of the leading votes. I forget the team that was leading. God, I want to say Arizona had like around like 14. They had a number ended in a 4. It wasn't 4. It was like 24 or 14 votes.
You talking about the other teams receiving votes type of 4 deal? I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, Arizona and Boise State were at the top of that list. But yeah, it's like, so because I would say the top 25 is kind of heavy this year when it comes to who could be in it.
Right.
Like I know Illinois got some votes. I don't trust Illinois like this year.
Yes. So it was Clemson received 112, then it was Florida, Boise, Arizona. Arizona received 32 votes. TCU received 11. Navy 10. South Carolina 10, Illinois received 9, Oklahoma State received some votes, JMU received some votes. So to me, it seems like the AP took what we said to heart last year, and we being the media like, yo, this isn't right. Like, why is this going on? Right? And then, you know, because they dropped the ball on so many occasions last year, this is probably the best preseason poll I've seen them do in years. Truly the best preseason polls I've seen them do years. So I've been really critical of the Associated Press because these are the writers of America that cover the sport. They should follow the sport and care about the sport the same way we care about the sport. And in a lot of cases, I don't feel that they do care about it the same way that we care about it. But yeah, so Missouri is a team, in my opinion, if I'm being nitpicky here, they do have Austin Simmons. You remember what they were doing in Oxford with Austin Simmons a season ago? Like, it was kind of like the Cain and Abel. Yeah, it was like what we see in SMU. Yeah. What we seeing with SMU is doing this year. With Kevin Jennings, like, it's like, God damn, bro, y'all doing all this to get this man Heisman hype. Like, I understand it. And they would, like, when I tell you Oxford was like crazy about
Heisman hype. My fault.
Yeah.
After he got
hurt.
No.
I'm talking about the hype.
Figure out how
I'm talking about the Heisman hype. And we know Eli Drinkowitz teams are always going to be competitive. Non-con, when we get to con, that's when things get a little shaky. And we don't know if Ahmad Hardy's going to be ready at the top of the season. I trust the fan base in Columbia. I love what Eli Drinkowitz is doing in Columbia. But if I have to be honest with you and everyone else that's watching the show, shout out to everybody. If I have to be honest, I think there are teams I like more than I like Missouri. Arizona, you mentioned Noah Fafita, one of the most decorated quarterbacks in all of college football. Like, what he's been able to accomplish, even with the not so great 2024 season, 2023 was amazing. Last year was amazing. Yes, they deserve more consideration. I've seen a lot of South Carolina fans getting upset that they weren't in the top 25. And I'm like, what have you done to deserve? What have they done to deserve it, though? Yes. The return of production is amazing. We know
I think they got 74
Lenore
offense,
Sellers,
60 on defense.
So, like, but what have they done to deserve it? We know that you do have a new offensive coordinator, but what have they done? College football is very much of what have you done for me lately? What have they done lately? Yes, the 2024 season, they were an LSU robbery away from being in the college football playoff. I get that. I understand that. But last year was abysmal. And I was at the Virginia Tech game, and yes, they... Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. And if it wasn't for the staffers and the students at the school who had the protests for fire Coach Schuler, would he have ever even gotten fired? Is the question I propose to you. I'm not even sure if he'd have gotten fired. And that's the scary part for me. I'm not even sure if the guy would have gotten fired if, everything wasn't mentioned that it was mentioned.
But yeah,
that's the crazy part to me.
Yeah, so group of 16, it's not like they didn't get no love. It's just that.
Yeah, they got love.
Yeah, I just feel like the top 25 and others outside of it, you can make an argument. I will say this, for a group of 6 schools, sometimes it's just hard to gauge who will be who at times.
Is it the turnover? Because the Power 4 invasion of we seen it in the American this past year. The invasion of the American Conference is something that was like a talking point. Me and Moon still got a bunch of videos to drop from the American. We're taking our sweet time with it. The invasion of that conference was just, in my opinion, just foolish. I think you all enjoy or should have gotten more consideration. I'm not saying that because you're here, and I don't care either way.
I don't think we should have.
Why? What has all that Brett Bielema has done since he's been in Champaign is make y'all respectable. That's all he's done, year in and year out.
KT, that's cool, but you got to look into this season. We only returned 52% of our production on offense, 45% on defense. Mm-hmm. One of our key wide receivers just got hurt. Now, this list was made before it was really announced that he was hurt. Hayden Hauser still... I'm still iffy.
What was Luke Altmaier before he arrived in Champaign?
Nothing much, just Ole Miss.
I think Barry Lundy Jr.'s offense is quarterback friendly. Is it one of the friendliest systems in America? No, because it's based on a lot. It's pro spread, so it's based on a lot of heavier personnels. But the ability to run the ball, which you guys are going to be able to do at a great, y'all going to make things easy for Kenyon Hauser, bro. Y'all going to make things extremely easy for him.
But I don't think our defense, our pass rush has kind of been weak outside of the year we had Johnny Newton and Keith Randolph and them. Pass rush kind of just been weak, and we ain't really been able to get home.
That's fair.
Secondaries returning, but I don't know. I'm iffy about secondary. Wide receiver Hudson Clement is our best returning receiver. Now Brett did say he was leaving the door open for Hank Beatty to return if he doesn't make the Titans roster, and for Melvin Presley to return on the offensive line if he doesn't make a roster as well. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like my dad asked me, man, what Illinois gonna do? He asked me that yesterday. I was like, maybe 6 wins, 7 wins. I was like, we get 8 wins, that's cool. He was like, won't that be backwards? I was like, yeah, but I was like, we lost a lot. I was like, we're Illinois, we aren't.
But what does returning production mean? It's something that I looked at heavily. So especially, but last year kind of taught us that returning production really doesn't mean much if you don't have the correct culture in place. I believe Brett Bielema, Barry Lundy Jr. has provided the right culture in place. Indiana's RP isn't that great, but they get active in the portal.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean what it used to. Clemson was supposed to be good last year. Outstanding. Number 1 in return production. They weren't. Same thing with Penn State. Same thing with LSU. Outstanding return of production. But none of those teams had the cultures in play. Clemson does. I'm not sure what happened with Clemson. Penn State.
I don't know. Clemson
was. You don't think they had the culture in place? Coaching, yes. Yes. Coaching, and then the movement at offensive coordinator from Brandon Streeter to Garrett Riley to now we're back with Chad Morris. I'm not sure if that's an incremental improvement. And they're not ranked. Let's address the elephant in the room now. How do you feel about Clemson not being ranked?
I thought they should have been ranked.
Okay.
Yeah, I would replace them with Missouri.
You would?
Yeah.
Let's get into our next 5 because that was a foreshadow question. You know that was a foreshadow question because I'm gonna get into something else next. Alrighty, let's go from and then Tennessee's at 20, 19 is SMU, Penn State's at 18, Washington is at 17, Michigan is at 16. Talk to me about this group of the teams. I have an issue with a few of these.
Toss Penn State. I tossed them all the way out top 25. To be honest with you.
Yeah, if Clemson's not in the top 25, why is Penn State in the top 25? Right?
When I looked at it, I was like, Penn State really that high? I was like, man, I tossed them.
And
Like,
I think people are looking at the schedule. They have easier schedule, but we've got caught in that trap before. We got caught in that trap with Rutgers. I've gotten caught in that trap with Virginia Tech. I'm probably going to get caught in that trap this year with NC State, who has one of the easiest schedules in the country and should be competing in the ACC this upcoming year, even though I don't
Virginia
think.
Tech costs to be one of them teams too.
Yeah, for sure. So
Virginia Tech should got more roast than Penn State.
I look at Penn State. I do like Matt Campbell. I do think with the resources provided in Ames, he did all that he could in Ames. I do believe that. They started off red hot, 5-0 last year. They lost to Colorado, right? And as much hate as Deion get and as much hate as Shedeur Sanders get, like, we weren't hard enough on Iowa State last year. We weren't. Like, that was one of Colorado's wins a season ago, and nobody really said anything about it. And that was after starting off red hot. And then when you look at the roster construction in Happy Valley, it's a lot of former Iowa State players. Now, you and I both love Rocco Beck. I think the world of Rocco Beck. Had him in my top 10 quarterbacks a season ago.
He's good. He's good.
How you feel about Carson Hansen? I like Carson Hansen too.
I like Carson Hansen.
But, like, to me, are they a top 25 team based on when we look at the overall product? Or are we just basing it on, okay, well, Penn State has always been, like, what are we looking at? What are we evaluating?
It's brand name. Like, I feel like they got a lot of brand name love.
But don't confuse me when I say I think they're going to win a lot of games this year. Don't confuse me when I say, and by a lot of games, I think they'll win at least 8. They're going to win at least 8 games. The schedule, I'm not sure if you've seen it. The schedule that's been provided for them, but I think I could argue with Arizona State. I think there's an argument for Boise State too, and what Spencer Danielson and the culture he's provided there. I think there's an argument for them to be in the top 25. Alrighty, Tennessee, where you at with Tennessee? I'll tell you where I'm at after you tell me where you're at with Tennessee.
I'm iffy on Tennessee. Quarterback situation got me iffy, although I trust both of them. I really like George McIntyre though.
You like George McIntyre over Faison Brother?
Yeah, I've been a George McIntyre fan since he.
Okay. That's fair.
So, like, I think his sophomore tape, I was like, yeah, I was like, I like Jordan. But by the way, we saw Marshall Manning make his debut. I saw
highlights. I don't care about these kids till they get on campus. No disrespect.
I will not hate on Marshall Manning.
Yeah,
quarterback. Yeah, Tennessee, I'm iffy on. Like, I feel like if it's a team that maybe shouldn't be at top 25, but should be at the bottom near the bottom in this group, it's probably Tennessee.
When I look at Josh Heupel, when I look at Joey Hazel, when we examined last year, I was highly critical of Heupel. I was highly critical of Tennessee, borderline hating. And I was upset because, alrighty, you guys had a feeling that Nico Iamaleava was going to be a problem, right? When he allegedly held out of the Ohio State playoff game, and he might as well because he played like bullcrap, and the whole team played like bullcrap, right? So I say you wait, and then you get Joey Aguilar. I'm like, yeah, there's no way you're going to be good. You shouldn't be in the top 25. Well, damn, Joey Aguilar put up numbers in that system, didn't he?
He did.
And
he did.
And when you think about the offensive coordinator Joey Hazel, when you think about their head coach Josh Heupel, and I say we as a brand, CFB Nation, have been very critical of, but damn, was that one of the best coaching jobs that we seen last year? For them to get Joey Aguilar, who knew App State system because he was there forever, then had to learn Tino Sinceri's system at UCLA, then to go to Knoxville and have the success he had in Knoxville, they were a few games away, in my opinion, from winning a lot of ball games a season ago. And I look at them and I say, all right, yes, I do question their quarterback room. I 1,000% question their quarterback room. But at the end of the day, when we look at it, I got to say that, oh, damn, well, maybe, they'll be able to figure it out whether it's George McIntyre or Faison Brandon. I'm hoping Faison Brandon win the job. No disrespect to your guy, McIntyre. But, I think we live in a college football world that if you don't have some sort or some form of...
Did you see the side of him?
No, I didn't. I accidentally. I went full to me.
For me, I thought you saw my dad on the side. He was stopping by.
Oh, he did? That man, tell Pops what's up. So, yeah, so when I look at Tennessee and I look at the doubts that I had last year, you won't catch me doing that again. I believe that they'll figure it out. You remember when, what's my guy name? My guy JD Piquel from On 3 spotted. Right. Quarterback gate. I forgot what we were calling it. Where they thought they saw a tight end passing the ball. I said, "Oh, Tennessee's about to be a mess." But you think about that Georgia game. They hit that field goal. We're looking at Tennessee season completely different a season ago. And Joey Aguilar played outstanding. So obviously, Coach Hazel, Coach Hypo are excellent motivators at the quarterback position. Joe Milton, they weren't going to get much out of him, but Nico played pretty well in the system. Joey Aguilar put up numbers in the system. I'm not going to doubt Tennessee. I think they're a top 20 team. I did it last year. I won't do it this year. You good, bro?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to see notifications across my screen.
All right. Michigan at 16 I have an issue with. Oh, I have an issue with Michigan being at 16.
Yeah, I don't trust Michigan. Bryce Underwood, don't trust.
I trust Cal Win now, but I don't trust Michigan.
I do too. And I feel like top 25, I trust him too much.
I know you seen the movie Get Out, and then when he was in the second place, and that's the image when I think of Michigan this year. That's the image that when I think of Michigan, and it's heartbreaking because they've gotten away with not having the best quarterback talent. They've gotten away with not having the best production at the wide receiver position. They're going to always play physically, defensively. But how fast can Kyle Whittingham turn this thing around? And how long is he there for? Is he a bridge guy to fix the culture issues that they've had over the better part of a decade? Like what is his reason being there? And are they 16 because of the brand? Because the Michigan man, mantra?
Because the brand and Kyle Whittingham. They want to trust Kyle Whittingham, what he brings, and
I put them in
Michigan, big brand.
I put them in my top 25 because I felt like I had to. I didn't want to put them in my top 25 because I don't see it. Now, I haven't gotten much intel on how things are going in Ann Arbor. What does Bryce Underwood development look like this upcoming year? Is Jordan Marshall truly going to be the guy? They lost Justice Haynes, who's a damn good running back. I think he's going to be a top 5 rusher this year in Georgia Tech because he's playing with a head coach whose mantra is run the ball. But I don't know about Michigan. I trust them defensively. I know they have the ability to run a ball, but to me, if I'm doing an eye test, I don't think they're better than SMU. I don't think right now I would pick neutral site. Would you pick Michigan over Utah neutral site? I'm not picking them over Iowa just because I trust Phil Parker. I know how you feel about Iowa, but hey, last decade or so, when you look at wins versus losses, they're a top 10 team. Mm-hmm. Wins versus losses, better part of a decade. So I trust what they do there. So I feel funny about Michigan. Washington, how do you feel about? Ohio State has the best defense.
Is too high.
A season ago, I would agree with that. Matt Patricia really did an outstanding job. Shout out to you. Did a really outstanding job a season ago. The best defense in the country, for me, is in Norman. What Brett Venables and company are able to do. I think for this upcoming season, I think the best defense in the country is Oklahoma. I don't think it's particularly close, if I'm being honest. SMU, I think, is the team here that could be, when we look at this group of teams, that could be the biggest riser. I think SMU may be damn good this year. For all that they have done for Kevin Jennings this upcoming, we're still through we're looking at the 21 through 16. I think they're the best team in this grouping right here. I think they have the best upside when I look at a team here. All right, so we spent a lot of time there. Let's go now. They have 2 teams at 14. Interesting. 14 USC, 14 BYU, 13 Bama, 12 Texas Tech, 11 LSU. You know who's scaring me?
Who?
Kalani Sitake. I'm going to tell you why he scared me. So, I felt great. After Big 12 Media Days, I felt outstanding about them. The way he spoke about his running back, LJ Martin, who I think can be a Heisman finalist this upcoming season. But he did something I don't think I will ever see out of Kalani Sitake, where he was saying, hey, we need more resources, right? What did he see in fall camp to make him say that? It's just something he's always felt. He's had plenty of opportunity to say it in the offseason. What did he see and say, hey, we need more resources? Huh?
He could have said it last season.
Yeah, he could have said it. So what did he see? What does he know? And Provo, what does he know that we don't know? You know what it remind me of? Remember when Kenny Dillahan went on that rant after the first fall camp practice a season ago? He said it wasn't a bad practice. We just didn't practice with heart. Why is all of a sudden? Well, yeah, you look at the roster construction that they have in Lubbock. Yeah, you feel that way. Even in Houston, the roster construction that they have in the H-Town is outstanding. Why is he saying this now? What did he see? What did he want to see that he didn't see? I'm getting worried about BYU. What is your thought on that?
I'm not completely worried about BYU, to be honest with you. I just think it's honest, like, we just need more resources. Like,
but how much?
I mean, the basketball team got $8 million for one player for 1 year.
But how much more resources are you going to go get there, right? If you wanted resources, go to Happy Valley, brother. They wanted you. You were the number one guy in their coaching shirt. If you want one, you were two. Or the coaching searches, if you wanted more resources, the resources were there. Why didn't you go there? That's what I'm not understanding. There were other teams, other programs that wanted you, right? And now the culture that he's providing in Provo, can he provide that anywhere else? Because you kind of got a leg up with the honor code and everything you got going on in Provo at Brigham Young. Like, can he provide that culture elsewhere?
I don't mean, maybe he just wants to stay at BYU.
But my thing is, I would have went to the staffers. I would have went to the AD saying, hey, listen, you see these other programs want me. Some of them were probably even willing to offer him more money. Hey, for me to stay here, I need more resources. Find the resources now, because they seem to find them in West Texas and Lubbock. So, like, to me, that's my issue, right? I followed you the entire offseason during the spring season. I followed you at Big 12 Media Days. It was all roses. But now we need more resources as we head into the season. What did he see? That's the question I have. If somebody in the chat can answer it, it's a legitimate question. What did he see? USC is low to me. Go ahead and say it.
Low to me.
Oh, they low to you too? Let's go. Talk to me.
Why
do you feel like they're low?
They got one of the highest return productions in Big Ten.
They got the number one returning starters in the country. Most returning starters in the country, right? And that's crazy how I went from like the RP metric to like, man, who got the most returning starters? Because that's what I want to see. And yes, they got the most returning starters in the country. Great point. Jaden Maava, he's the real deal.
Yeah. Only thing that might be is
the wide receiver room.
Yeah, because you lost Mike Collins
and Jacoby Lane, who's killing it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. But you bring back one of the best quarterbacks in the college football. Didn't they lose at DC?
They did, but they got to upgrade. How you say it? D'Anthony Lynn? Yeah. Because I think he went to was it UCF? No, it was Michigan. I think it was somewhere in the Big Ten.
I think it was Michigan.
I think he went with Kyle Whittingham to Michigan.
Yeah, Anton Lynn.
Yeah. And then, but they got Gary Patterson, one of the originators of the defense we know now as a 4-2-5. So, to me, that's an upgrade. And I like Lynn a lot. He comes from the 3-4.
Lincoln Riley defense has always been spotty.
It was better. You remember Alex Grinch days was horrible, but it was better under Lynn.
Yeah.
But Gary Patterson is one of the best teachers of the 4-2-5. I want to say he's one of the ones that's coined with one of the godfathers of what we know as the 4-2-5 now. I think they're going to be dangerous this year. And excuse the hell out of me, but when I look at the overall landscape of the Big Ten, I love Indiana. I love Ohio State, right? Oregon, I think, will be really good this year. But the lack of adjustments that I've seen in back-to-back postseasons, to me, is a reason to be concerned. Because they got Molly Wap, right? You think about the Ohio State game from 2024, then you think about the Indiana game from this past season. They got Molly Wap in both games. And then, you would say, okay, well, fourth is Michigan. No, fourth is USC. Fourth is USC, in my opinion, when we look at the conference hierarchy. All right, talk to me. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. There's a lot of people not high on Bama this year. There's a guy I know that's really high on Bama. All right, and you've kind of been a Bama homer. I'm going to be real with you. You've been a Tuscaloosa homer for a very long time. Why aren't you high on Bama this upcoming year? Huh?
They don't have Nick Saban no more. Kalen DeBoer has been there. Kalen DeBoer is a good coach, but I feel like his ceiling is his ceiling.
You don't think he outcoached his hand last year?
Not really.
You don't think so? Okay. I mean, they had an outstanding wide receiver core. Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Coleman Williams. Will you please stand up? I want the guy that I saw, the potential, the ceiling that I saw in year one, not the guy from year two. The Florida State game loss was messy a season ago, but they won some really tough games last year. To be down to Oklahoma in the playoff after you lost on
last year with the Oklahoma game.
Yeah, so I see the potential.
But they got whooped. They got whooped in
they got whooped by Indiana. Yeah, they got whooped by Indiana. So that's a good point. I do believe that Ryan Grubb is one of the best teachers of the pro spread. The offense that's kind of taken wildfire across the entire college football landscape. But defensively, they're going to be really good. They're going to be outstanding defensively. I think that starts with Zabian Brown, who is just an outstanding defensive back. I trust, do you think? I trust what I see defensively out of this team. Be interested to see who wins the quarterback competition between Keilah Russell and Austin Mack. Bama being at 13 is interesting. It's really interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. There's a team or two that I like more than Bama at that spot. I would probably have them around the 15 or 16 mark and let them prove themselves. But I still think they can have an outstanding season. Let's talk about the team from Lubbock. Really interesting offseason when you think about everything with the Brendan Sorsby situation. To now, okay, Will Hammond is the guy at quarterback. We know that the resources are plentiful in Lubbock. They have Cody Campbell and company has found a way to get everybody to buy in. They have circled the wagons from the boosters, the donors, to everybody else. So it's an exciting brand of football in Lubbock, and they absolutely can win the Big 12 this upcoming season. I'm not mad at them being 12. Yes, there is a drop-off with Brendan Sorsby and Will Hammond. Will Hammond, yes, we saw outstanding flashes. Game in Salt Lake City a season ago, he played outstanding when Baron Morton got injured and actually outplayed Baron Morton for my estimation. So I like what Texas Tech brings to the table. Well, what are the X factors, right? When we get to these next group of teams from LSU at 11, Oklahoma at 10, Ole Miss at 9, Texas A&M at 8, and Miami at 7. I look at this group of teams, and we got a few X factors here. LSU, how quickly can Charlie Weiss Jr., how quickly can Lane Kiffin, how quickly can Sam Levitt, how quickly can Jace Brown, who's had an outstanding offseason, shout out to him, how quickly can they get this thing turned around? Because everybody's buying into what's happening in Baton Rouge, but the question you have to ask yourself is, with the myriad of teams in the SEC, it's outstanding when you think about that gauntlet. Now they're playing 9 conference games, and you got that 10 non-power that's in, pretty much Power 4 game. It's going to be really interesting when you look at LSU and how great they can be this year. I think, honestly, the sky's the limit for this team when you look at it. The aesthetics of it. Sam Levitt, if he's locked in and he didn't play horribly last year, just didn't match the output that he had in 2024. But if he can match that output with the talent that's around him with this team, offensively and defensively, they got studs everywhere. Offensive line, you think about Jordan Seaton, one of the best tackles in the game. I'm excited for what LSU can be. The question is, how quickly can we get the culture in place and everybody situated and understanding how to play lane kick football? Because their turbo is different from everybody else turbo across the country. I remember the LSU and Ole Miss game. Speaking of which, a season ago, and you saw how tired those LSU linebackers were because that pace that they go at is different. It is very different. Oklahoma at 10. I look at Oklahoma and say to myself, this is a team that can win the SEC. This is a team that can win the entire thing if all of the stars aligned. You don't say it. It's not the first thing you say, but when you think about that defense and what Brent Venables did, even in 2024, bad season offensively with Seth Littrell as the offensive coordinator, musical chairs at quarterback with Michael Hawkins, who I think is going to do really well in Morgantown, and Jackson Arnold. And then we go to last year, we have John Mateer. He is injured and he's playing injured, but we don't make excuses for injuries. If you decide to play, then we're going to evaluate your play, whether you're injured or not. And I don't even think they hit their full swing, honestly, offensively. And I think if they can be incrementally better offensively, we know what Venables' the company is going to do defensively. If they can be incrementally better, John Mateer is a better decision maker in the pocket. I think he has the ability to run more too. He didn't run as much. I think the injury had a lot to do with that. And then there's a guy at wide receiver by the name of Isaiah Satania who is must-see TV. He had big plays versus Missouri a season ago, a big play versus Ole Miss a season ago. Both of those plays went for over 70 some odd yards, lightning in a bottle. When you play man against Ben Arbuckle, he's going to make you play. I was just talking about Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma is one of the best teams in college football. I really do.
Same.
I look at what they can do from a defensive perspective. Brent Venables' job well done. He definitely earned that extension. And if we can speak candidly, Clemson hasn't been the same since he left.
Offense return production.
Yeah, a lot of return of production. Look at Jalen, man, giving us the.
65? I said 75. My fault. I said 75%. 75%.
68%
defense.
Bro, you think about Peyton Bowen, Eli Bowen, Stone. Wayne, they have a outstanding defense, and I was saying John Mateer played great at the beginning of the season. Then he played with injuries. I don't make excuses.
He got injured.
If you play with injuries, you have to play. But I think Isaiah Satania is one of the best receivers in college football that people don't talk about enough. Went for 77 some odd yards versus the Ole Miss man coverage. They ran that H trail type of play, and then they ran a mesh concept versus Ole Miss, and he went like another 80 some odd yards. He is lightning in a bottle. If you play man, they get him isolated on the right look. I love everything Oklahoma brings to the table this year. If they find a running game this year and John Mateer decides to be a part of the running game because he's 100% healthy, he's jacked, he's got bigger. I think he got bigger because he wants to run the ball more the way that he did in Pullman in 2024. I was talking about LSU, and I said LSU is one of those teams, in my opinion, that when you look at the roster, they're the X factor. I think in the entire, not just even the SEC. I think they're the entire X factor because you look at Jace Brown, outstanding wide receiver, right? He's been killing corners all spring, all summer. He's just been doing people dirty. Sam Levitt is the guy that I'm a little worried about. Because he was decent last year. He wasn't bad, but 2024 he was outstanding. And you look at Barry and Durham, the running back room, the wide receiver room is outstanding. One of the best tackles in all of college football, and Jordan Seaton. And they go at a really fast pace. So when you look at everything from a schematic perspective that LSU can do on paper, I think with the culture that Lane Kiffin provide, I think he's one of the last player coaches left that still has that accountability. He's kind of not on social media as much, and social media is better when he's on it. They're just one of those teams that it can go really good, but I think there's room for. I think there's room for like, oh man, here we go again. It's just BK all over again, right? That's how I feel about LSU, but I think they can be dominant. Yeah, how you feel about LSU?
Yeah, I'm indifferent. I'm like, a couple times we were like, Steve was like, man, what team you think could make the playoff? What type of teams couldn't? I'm like, LSU is an iffy team. I'm like, they can. I can see where they can't. It's weird. Mm-hmm. Like, and all just because they in the SEC and Lane Kiffin he's used to the SEC, but different team now, and I don't know. Like,
it's interesting.
Oklahoma over them.
There's a place where I say, okay, LSU can't win the SEC. Yeah, I can't blame you just because we don't know what we're going to get. All right, let's talk about the next grouping of teams. We got Ole Miss. How do you feel about Ole Miss before we move on?
Ole Miss is good. I question Pete Gold, but I think Ole Miss will be good.
Texas A&M. How you feeling about Mike Elko and company?
Like Texas A&M. Little questions there, like concerns about Marcel Reed and him protecting the ball, but I like him.
Is he being properly developed in College Station?
I mean, if you look at his first season compared to last season, I think
it was improvement.
You can see the gap of improvement.
Okay,
this year will determine that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Then Miami, I think we both agree they're one of the best teams on paper. I think they should easily win the ACC. Some teams will contest them, but when you look at the roster construction, I saw a difference in Mario Cristobal. I know you're still not really rocking with him, but in the playoff, I saw a difference in Mario Cristobal. As a coach, he was more locked in. He was holding his players more accountable. I like Miami. So let's get to this top 6. Indiana, Texas at 5, Notre Dame at 4. I am really high on Notre Dame this year. I believe now. Oh, by the way, we got the team from Athens at number 3. We got the team from Eugene at number 2, and we got the Ohio State Buckeyes at number 1. How do you feel about this?
I probably had Texas over Notre Dame.
Okay.
Other than that, I feel like it was okay. Oregon, I'm a little.
It's okay.
Ohio State, I'm a
Yeah.
little iffy on. I don't really trust Junior saying to the full amount that I feel like some other people do.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's fair. Oregon got the
I
best defensive line in the country. I just don't trust them to make the proper adjustments in them.
it's and then Ohio State, they lost a
I'm
lot of
not
defense.
changing my opinion on yet. Did it? But I mean, that's damn near every year though.
That is true,
But I think they have the coach. They got the culture in
you
place
look at the
though.
talent
Matt
they got on
Patricia as
place,
their
though.
defense
You look at the
coordinator.
talent, the talent they got Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese.
They sent 14 players to the draft in 2020 in the 2025 NFL draft. 14.
Yeah, but
And look how good they were. Now, it's some dogs. I see what you're saying 100%. They had what? Defensively, three of their players were drafted in the top 12.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That is outstanding. I see what you're saying, but they did that before. Like, who knew Bo Jackson was going to turn out to be the prospect he was, right? You know, last year.
You could tell the drop off between Bo Jackson and Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson.
Oh, for sure. I'm not doubting that at all. But I'm just saying, like, they just find a way. Like, it's been years. I'm like, all right, Iowa can't keep this up. They're just losing too many defenders to the NFL, and they keep it up. But you look at Ryan Day is smart. He lost Hartline, right? And this is no disrespect to Hartline. I was able to interview him at America, media days. But
Yeah.
I think Arthur Smith is an improvement. A guy that understands how to run the pro
I do
spread.
too.
And you think about that, you think about Matt Patricia, arguably the best coordinator pairing in all of college football. To me, they will figure it out. And I think Julian saying, as great as he played a season ago, has room to be better because he wasn't forced to be put in a lot of crazy situations. The two games he was put in bad situations versus Miami and versus Indiana. He will. Oh, for sure. Man, they got two. They got two of them.
Jeremiah Smith too.
They got
Henry.
Henry.
Chris Henry,
Chris Henry Jr. I know who you meant. CJ. And then what's the other kid name? Is it Brock? He's a dog. He was killing. He was killing in the spring. He been killing in fall camp too. Let me look it up.
But yeah, like I don't know if Chris Henry Jr. have a better season than Carnell Tate had last season.
Brock Boyd is his name.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel
Real
like they're better
effing deal.
when it comes to wide receivers this season. Offense, I feel like they'll be fine. It's defense where I see the concern. Like
I don't because of Matt Patricia, man. I think your boy is the greatest equalizer, dog. Like what he did last year, and keep in mind that college football is very nuanced. Right? You got the wider hash marks if you on the short side of the field, and let's say you're running at cover 3, you gotta cover so much. That flood concept hits differently when you gotta cover all that field. And the way that he used downs a season ago, like, bro, like, and yes, they lost some studs. They don't got downs. They lost, and I thought he was the best player in college football the last 2 years, not just last year. I thought he was the best college football player the last couple years. So I agree with that. All right, I got to agree with Indiana. I love Indiana. To me, Kirk Cignetti left JMU. First he was at what? IUPI or something like that. Mm-hmm. He was at Elon. Success.
IUPUI.
Yeah, IUPUI. Elon, right? JMU. Like, I think what was he? At Elon be IUPI or whatever. However you say it. At JMU be Elon, right? First year in Bloomington, mind you, Indiana has a losing record overall in college football, right? Really good college basketball program. Hasn't been recently, but when Bob Knight years, you knew Indiana was going to be right there in the thick of things. So, first year, made it to the college football playoff. Got the belt by Notre Dame, he learned. Second year, wins the whole damn thing, goes undefeated.
So that thing, so what, we think they deserve to be number 1 or something because of that?
They should be number 1.
Why? Because
They didn't have the best. They didn't have the best. No, they won the. They just won the championship, bro. A few months ago.
Yeah, that's cute. But
they didn't have the best roster. They didn't have the best roster construction last year. Mm-hmm. Probably about 12th or 13th in the nation in roster construction a year ago. I can name probably about at least 9 or 10 schools that had better roster construction than them, and a couple of them didn't even sniff the college football playoff. Penn State, LSU, Clemson. right? So to do this with Fernando Mendoza was good at Cal, right? We remember the Miami game. Miami was able to come back and beat them at Cal. But what he turned into at Indiana was different. Curtis Rourke was really good at Ohio, put up great stats. But in the Big Ten, first year Indiana, he played outstanding. What do you think he's going to do with Josh Hoover? And Josh Hoover's been killing it, oh, by the way, in camp. But what do you think he's going to do with Josh Hoover?
He'll be good. I like Josh Hoover. I don't
With
feel like he's
Nick
better than
Marsh
Mendoza.
and Charlie Becker, dogs. Turbo at running back. Like, come on, bro. And they just got some guys in the portal defensively. Kirk Cignetti, I think, is just one of the best portal guys. They say, okay, this guy's going to fit what we do here. Indiana, to me, is the best team in college football. To have them at 6 or 7, wherever they have them, is very disrespectful to me. How you feel about that?
I don't think they're better than Ohio State. I don't think they're better than Oregon. I think they're better than Notre Dame. I don't think they're better than Texas either.
I beat Oregon twice last year. Second time,
last year.
First time was in Eugene. The second time they got that belt, bro.
That's last year.
Belt. You hear me? Belt.
That's
BLT.
last year.
Okay.
Last year.
All right. I think Dan Lanning is an outstanding coach. His ability to recruit, the resources being plentiful in Eugene is outstanding. But where has the adjustments been in the last 2 years? We got that belt at halftime, and it's like bro in the locker room and Waterboy or the Homer Simpson joint. He just fading into the bushes, bro. Like, where were the adjustments, bro? They were giving y'all the belt. Before the half, after the half, they still giving y'all the belt. There were no adjustments, Jalen. That is my issue with Dan Lanning. Seriously. That is my issue. So, yes, they got the best defensive line, all of college football, best quarterback room in all of college football room. Their wide receiver core is going to be nasty this year. But when it comes down to it, right, do you trust them to have the ability to win it all? That's my question I ask, right? When you rank teams who can win it all this upcoming season, what do you have Oregon?
They'll be top 5.
Yeah, and they should be. They should be. But where at?
They wouldn't be number 1, 2, or 3.
Who would you have at 1, 2, and 3?
I have Ohio State. I have Texas. I have Notre Dame.
I'm high on Texas, but Steve Sarkisian, I'm starting to lose trust with Buddy. I really am. He's been talking a lot this offseason too, and it's been pissing me the hell off.
Yeah, Indiana's better than Oklahoma.
I will say that Oklahoma would have put a better fight up than Bama did last year at the Rose Bowl. I will say that. I am confident in that. I love Oklahoma's.
They scored 3 points.
Bruh,
I think they scored
belt,
3, right?
belt. Indiana was giving people the belt.
It was over.
I enjoyed every minute of it. Indiana was giving people the belt last year, so that's one of my gripes. I think Oregon's gonna be really good this year, but the question remains: what are they gonna do when them lights is super bright? So I'm not mad at the top 25 overall. Georgia's one of those teams I think we should always be watching out for, and then Notre Dame can be a wild card this year. They have an easy schedule. Notre Dame has a really easy schedule.
It's easy to get past the test.
Notre Dame should be like a top
USC.
3. They don't play USC this year.
USC. Okay, I don't know why I thought they played USC.
Yeah, I think it's just like Brigham Young and Miami are their 2 toughest games. Every other game, they'll be favored by probably about 17 to 21 plus points. Every other game in their schedule, they'll be favored like that. So let's go through our conference winners. I know you got to get back. I'm sorry. 1, we started late. That was my fault. And 2, we got. Let's zoom through this. So let's start with the Pac-12 new conference. They back. Guess who's back again? Shout out to Oregon State and Washington for believing. And honestly, I didn't think this would happen as quickly as it happened. To be honest with you, who do you have winning? And who you have winning the Pac-12?
Fresno State.
I like that. Talk to me about Matt Anson Company. Why Fresno State?
If you look at it, he built up the trenches really well. And I think in the group of 6 conferences, you can win the conference if you got the trenches really built.
Right.
Offensive line, defensive line. I feel like that. It's just a good starting foundation for any team. And I feel like they're going to have a good ground attack again on offense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really trust them. Boise State, I guess, could have been the other answer, but I had to go Fresno State.
I like it. Fresno was definitely one of the teams I considered during my Pac-12 episode, but ultimately I went with Boise. And to me, it is culture over everything. The culture that Spencer Danielson has provided in Boise, Idaho has just been unparalleled. He has made them a respectable team out of the G6 grouping. Maddox Madsen is the key to this whole thing. His stats in 2024 definitely superseded his stats in 2025. I thought he had way too many turnovers, didn't do enough offensively. And that still, yes, they didn't have the Ashton Jency production, but they still had a lot of production.
Still good production,
running the rock.
Jency production back.
Yeah, nah, you're not. That's it.
Yeah, people shouldn't expect that. People shouldn't expect that.
So, yeah, those are the two heavy hitters, I think, in the conference. But I do have Boise State winning it all. Let's move right along. Mountain West, who's you guys?
Mountain West, UNLV.
We agree. I don't think it's particularly close. Jaden Jet Thomas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then they got Jackson Arnold, quarterback. If Dan Mullen can find something right there,
I think he can. Him and Alex Orji, I think they'll both get ample playing time at the beginning of the season. I expect Jackson Arnold to win this job. This offense should be something. They run like that Gus Malzahn power spread type of system that they got going on out there.
And I remember, just a couple minutes ago, we were talking about last year. I mean, they made the conference championship last year. So
the last two seasons, if I'm not mistaken, they had the ability.
It might have been the last 2 seasons.
They lost both, but yes, I like what they bring to the table. Dan Mullen, they better capitalize while they can. I don't think he'll be there next year, because somebody's going to offer him. He's just doing too great of a job. But shout out to Paul Gunther, the defense coordinator, offense coordinator, Corey Dennis. I like a lot of what they do. All right, talk to me about Con USA. This is the hardest conference to predict in all of college football. All of college football. Who you got?
I had Liberty, question mark. Kennesaw State,
of course.
Question mark. Tulsa,
of course.
Question mark. I was like,
yeah.
I was like,
I think there's 3 teams that stand apart from everybody else. I think it's WKU.
Yeah.
I think it's Delaware, who has the most returning starters in the country. The Blue Hands, Nick Minakuchi is the real deal. Jacksonville State can be dangerous. And the reason that they were able to survive the post-Rich Rod era is because they kept the same system. They kept the spread option. They kept the same system defensively. Who do you have winning that conference, brother?
Delaware.
I like it. I love it. They were one of the surprises, teams a season ago. I like the fact that
I put Tulsa for them originally, though.
Yeah.
Tulsa, maybe.
I've been leaning WKU. They don't have quite the return of production, but I like what Coach Helton has built there. They run an air raid. They're one of the best runners of the air raid in all of college football, but they seem to always hit this mark. And I believe, is it them with the really tough first 4 games? One of these teams played at Indiana and then in Athens, bro, in Bloomington and in Athens. And of course, that's the way that they get the money. But I look at this conference, and I said Delaware, I said WKU win it all. I'm going to change it right here live on the show. Jacksonville State will win the Conference USA. And then Liberty could be the wild card, bro. I don't know what to expect from them this upcoming season. But let's move right along. Talk to me about the MAC. Who's your champion?
Western Michigan.
You think they're going to go back to back?
Yeah. Brock Lowry, Jalen Buckley. I think you look at it, and I feel like the MAC is also a question mark conference to me. Because I guess you could say Miami of Ohio, maybe Toledo, but they also lost a lot. Some people got CMU. So, but yeah, I got Western Michigan 10-1 last season. Brought back they quarterback and running back. I gotta go on.
I like them a lot. The team that they beat in the championship was a team that I thought would win the conference in Miami of Ohio. I really like Chuck Martin. There's a lot to like about Chuck Martin. I like the system that they run. And when you look at the overall MAC last year, it was very congested. It was just a bunch of teams kind of floating around 500 a season ago.
Yes, I feel like.
We know NIU was gone from there. UMass has entered the conference. It's a lot that you want to like about the
Did they got
conference?
Sacramento State?
Yes, yeah, they got Sac State in. The other one too. BALL pause. So like, you know what I'm saying? So they did you got pause the Mac. But the two teams I look at is Miami of Ohio. Ohio can be interesting this year as well. And then of course who you mentioned, Western Michigan, but give me Miami, Ohio to win the conference. All right, American, who you got winning the conference?
UTSA.
I love that pick. Why UTSA?
They got some key starters returning on defense. They got Owen McCann returning on offense, and Jeff Traylor, if I'm not mistaken, is 25-1 at home. And they got who is it? Navy at home this year. Who Navy is also is a team that they people might choose to win that conference as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. For me, I really do believe FAU. And talking to Zach Kelly at American Media Days, and we just talk ball talk. That video is out on the Governor of College Football if you guys want to see it. And it's something to believe in them. And to me, it was him talking about the defense. It was him talking about CJ Doggett. And I remember last year being at fall camp there, and that man wouldn't lead the quarterbacks. But he talked to me about the injury that Caden Veldkamp had. He talked, and he was just excited about the tight ends that they have this year. And the air raid, you want good tight ends. He said they really didn't have that last year. I believe in them, but I had a conversation with Charles Huff of Memphis. Memphis is winning. Memphis is winning the American, bro. This man don't got no hobbies. Like, none. I was like, bro, you don't golf? He said, if I have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like you when he answers his questions. And that man's all about football. You see him post on Twitter every day. And if they go to Las Vegas and beat UNLV, week 0, mind you, and for the people that say week 0 don't matter, get the fuck out of here. But if they go to UNLV and beat UNLV, watch out. Because they can. Because I think UNLV going to run dual quarterbacks that game. Watch the hell out. I like Memphis a lot. I also talked to their middle linebacker, Mike Montgomery. Dude is just a football player. He's a football player. It's a lot to like about them, but anybody can win the American, and I truly do believe that. All right, we're now at the Power 4. Talk to me about the Big 12. Who you got winning?
Got the Sun Belt.
Oh, my apologies. Who you got winning the Sun Belt?
I had Troy.
Troy. Okay, talk to me about Troy.
Donnie Smith, going to anchor one of the best defenses in probably that conference, arguably probably the best defense in that conference. They got who was it? Goose Crowder back from injury. So like I don't know. I just trust Troy out of every team in that conference.
When I look at Marshall, right, and remember they had the mass exodus at the end of 2024, and to be as competitive as they were a season ago, that's one of the teams that came to mind. I really love what Ricky Rain is doing at ODU right now in Richmond. I think this is a really hard conference, but I think Billy Napier, what he learned from Florida by being a nice guy, being a player's coach, I think that Harrisonburg, Virginia has the culture and the system in place for him to be for continued success, even after Coach Chesney, who's now at UCLA. Give me JMU to win the Sun Belt. Now, let's get to the Big 12. Who you got winning the Big 12?
BYU.
Okay.
BYU.
Not a bad pick at all. All right.
Texas Tech was my second team.
Texas Tech is the biggest wild card here, but they have the resources in place to be extremely successful. They're going to be as good defensively. For BYU, my biggest question is
We talked about it
Bear. Bachmeier, like, how big of an improvement is he going to make? Like, a lot of people have issues with Aaron Roderick, the offensive coordinator. They said he runs as vanilla as an offense as you see in preseasons in the NFL. Like, so many people there want him gone. And then what we talked about earlier with Kalani Sitake, like, yo, we need more resources. Like, that came from, in my opinion, from a place of frustration, and he's seeing something. I like BYU a lot. The team I actually have winning the Big 12 is Houston. I adore Houston. Connor Wegman, your guy. You don't need those guy. Like the way he played last year, he has a chip on his shoulder. Head coach Willie Fritz, chip on his shoulder. Mekhi Hughes, who was supposed to go to Eugene and be the guy last year, nah, bro. You got like 3 or 4 running backs. You not gonna even get no bump. He's gonna have a chip on his shoulder. They arguably got the best receiver in the conference in Amari Thomas, right? So when you look at what they can do from an offensive perspective, some of their tougher games they do play in H-Town. I'm excited for Houston football this year. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's Houston versus Texas Tech in a conference championship because Kalani Sitake scared the living hell out of me. Give me Houston to win the Big 12 conference and be the representative for the Big 12 this upcoming season. So, who do you have in the ACC?
Miami.
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of
who's the team that will give them the most difficulty? Like, who's the team that is going to, like, all right, we know you big bag in Miami, but who's going to compete with them this upcoming year? Who's the runner-up in your opinion?
Louisville.
Louisville's a great answer. I'm excited about what Lincoln Kyle can do for that system. Isaac Brown, hopefully he's back with 100% healthy. CJ Bailey and NC State, I'm going to find out a lot about them next week. Week 0, that's where I'm going. I'm going to Charlottesville to go see that game next Saturday. And their schedule, I like their schedule a lot. Miami wins the ACC, but we'll just purely talk about the team that can give them the most comp. And I would love to say NC State in a perfect world, but I think it's SMU. I think SMU gives them the most comp. Just being around them at ACC Media Days. Were you there when we got the chance to kick it with them? No, it's not. It's not that. We hung around them. We hung around them.
We did. Remember, we playing NCAA.
Yeah. So we was kicking it with them.
Remember, I was whooping Mike and Castlebar red last year. Like,
Mike? Hey, that's crazy, Mike. Rumor has it he did put them paws on you, pause. But there's a lot to like about them. But Miami wins the ACC.
See my plays. I was in coach suggestions.
Who you got winning the Big Ten, brother? Actually, let's save them for last since they're the best conference. Who you got winning the SEC?
OU.
Huh?
OU.
Who you got winning the SEC?
Oklahoma.
You don't got Oklahoma winning the SEC. You know who I got winning the SEC?
Oklahoma.
Then we just become friends, bro. I am so high on Oklahoma this year. It's crazy that people don't see the storm that is brewing in Norman right now. Who's gonna be the team? Is it UGA? Is it Ole Miss? Is it Texas?
Texas.
It's Texas. So you think the winner of the Red River rivalry may win the conference?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I'm at Georgia.
I like UGA too because Texas has a UGA problem. We've seen Athens just physically beat them 3 times the last couple of years.
Every time.
Yeah. So, but Oklahoma can match that physicality. I think they are the most physical team. I love what they bring it back from a defense, perspective. We talk about the Bowen guys, and we talked about Stone.
He gotta stay healthy.
He got to stay healthy, and it has to be improvement in the pass game this year. And they have to have the ability to run the ball. I like Oklahoma to win it all in the SEC as well. We didn't go over this. I know you guys probably believe that, but we didn't. I did not. That's the last team I expected to hear from Jalen. I think Oklahoma wins the SEC too.
I thought Texas would have been the last team.
No. Mm-mm. Talk to me about the Big Ten. Who you have winning the Big Ten? I actually know who you have winning. Jalen, what's going on here, brother? You really got USC winning the Big Ten?
Well, I don't know if you can see it, but I promise you.
Yeah, I can see it. You got USC winning the Big Ten. That's interesting.
Yeah, I just got USC winning the Big Ten. I trust their return production. Think they got arguably the best quarterback in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Julian Sand and Dante Moore.
You've been consistent with that.
Yeah, defense-wise, I think they're going to be good. I still have the back of my mind. I still got a little bit not trusting Lincoln Riley and his defense.
Oh, okay, that's fair. But I mean, Gary Patterson is there, bro. You did something that I didn't have the testicular fortitude to do. As much as I love USC, I've been a USC homer for like the last 5 years now, right?
Yeah, I think you were high on them last year.
Yeah, I was very high on them last year. I covered them more on my pregame matchups than any other team in the country, right? And I wanted to say that, but I think Indiana wins the conference again this year. I'm not going against Cincinnati. I'm not crazy.
I need to look at Indiana's schedule. I know
They got a tougher schedule.
USC avoids. They play Oregon, but they avoid. I think Ohio State maybe or Michigan. One, I don't know, but I know they don't play Indiana. I don't think they might play Indiana. I don't remember. Oh no, I looked at like 3 different schedules and then I got them all confused. Yeah. I looked at like 3 different schedules and they all just play the same teams, and I just
Right.
mix them up together. But yeah, I know Oregon for sure has USC, Michigan, and Ohio State. And the Michigan Ohio State game is back to back.
That's tough. I don't think people realize how close USC
Then they
was.
play Washington and closed out 2 weeks later.
And is it in Seattle? That's a tough.
I want to say yeah.
That's a tough place to go. That's a tough place to go and get victory. People don't realize how close USC was a season ago. That terrible double pass call against Notre Dame, and then of course we had Jadarian Price from the kickback that game too. They were so close, to being able to beat Notre Dame, and I think that would have truly changed the landscape of their season a season ago. But they also did come back versus Iowa, which a lot of teams don't do. This has been a fun episode, brother. I can't wait till we do our week 0 preview next week, and then we give you guys who we think our playoff predictions for next week. You got anything else to add before we get up out of here?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Shout out to everybody who tuned in. We had some viewers in here today. I truly do appreciate that. Shout out to the gang. Shout out to each and every person on CFB Nation. Shout out to my boy Jalen. We are back. We're glad to be back. Friday is our tentative schedule. Some weeks we will go Thursday, but tentative schedule is Friday, 2:15 Eastern Standard Time, 1:15 Central. Hopefully the app is out for 2K, Jalen. Maybe we can make our builds. We start messing with the builder now. I'm excited for 2K. I'm going to get the same version you got, the deluxe, right? 2K,
yeah, I'm getting the deluxe.
2K gets 1,000 plus from me every year. Now, I'm not buying it till it's time to buy it. As I always like to say, there's no more victories in the sport that survived and fast while college sports the greatest regular season. Until next time, you all take care. The content we about to bring for you all this year, Debbie Darlings is back. World of College Football Moon is doing that in a whole new way. We're bringing back the CFB Late Show, Governor of College Football. I've been doing a lot more uploads. Make sure you guys are subscribed to all our channels. Just Jalen on YT. That's my dog. Make sure you subscribe there. Make sure you subscribe to at Governor of College Football, at World of College Football, at CFB Nation. I'm telling you, the CFB Nation, my apologies, we're taking over. I promise you. And what we got planned for week 1, like all the places we're going to be, y'all not even ready for that. Y'all take care.